So, hello everybody. Welcome to this reading. This is going to be about current obstacles that you're facing and how to unblock them, how to get through these challenges, what kind of mindset can help you, and messages from spirit in order to, reflect on these issues and move on from them. So, there you go. And these are the piles: pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, pile 4. You can pause this video to choose which pile speaks to you the most. You can do that by visually. You can pick one of those charms that you find most attractive, or you can hover your hand and see if your palm tingles. Then you know that this is your pile. I like to choose that way, but sometimes I do it visually as well. So you can pick also a totally different way to choose, whichever way is best for you, basically. So pause this video and try to pick the pile that speaks to you the most, and that'll be your pile. And we're gonna dive in, and I'm gonna tell you what the cards are telling me to tell you. So, all right, pile 1, welcome. This is your reading. I'm sorry, I'm moving my chair to try to get closer. I hope that's not too loud. So, welcome, welcome. Let's flip those cards for you. So, let's see. These are the cards that we have for you, and this one just flew out of the deck. Like, I barely, shuffled the deck, and this one just flew. And I think it's the only pile or the only group where that happened. So it really wanted to come out. And it says, schedule yourself in. And that's a beautiful ocean jasper stone. So I think one of the main messages right now for you is really to make time for yourself. There is, from what I can sense, is that, well, okay, let me just start again, okay, because like I can't just forget about the cards that came with this card, so I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you the rest. So this is Overcome Your Fears, Tiger's Eye, which we actually have here. It's a Tiger Eye stone. Okay, I can't find my words for some reason. And this is Iolite, Shift Your Money Mindset. So I don't think this is talking about money necessarily for everybody listening, but let me just calm down and explain to you what the message is that wants to come out for you. So clearly there's the need to take, like, to pause for a second. Okay, you might be like going full force or trying to, like, you're in a very like solution focused mode. You're trying to find a solution to something. You're trying to do something. I feel like that energy of like really trying to achieve, trying to do. There's a big push forward, which is like, it can be great energy. Like, it kind of reminds me of like the Ram or Aries energy, kind of like action driven and everything. But I think it's telling you like you need to just put the brakes on, just slow down for just a second, because there's something you can't quite see. And here, I mean, it's kind of funny that the stone's property is Tiger's Eye, because I feel like, yeah, there's something in your blind spot. Here, like I said, I don't think it's about money mindset, it's about mindset. And there's something that you can't, that in your mindset needs to shift, that you need to see from a different perspective. So I think that's really kind of like the main message that's coming to me right now, is that there's a change of perspective that's needed. But that change of perspective can't just come by itself, like all of a sudden you get a realization. Like, it could happen that way, but for most, I think what it's really trying to tell you is you need to take just a little break from whatever it is that you're doing, even if it's just mundane things, taking care of chores. Of course, we want to live in an environment like where we're taking care of things and stuff, but it really is telling you that you need to schedule yourself in. And I think that is the key in order to see what it is, like, in order to have enough of a buffer between you and whatever you're doing, and however, like, your mind is churning and working and doing, and you need to just be. And once your mind is just like calmer and not doing, and not like in you know doing things, basically. Once it's a bit not that busy, it'll have clarity. It'll be like free to think or to have these realization or to understand, like, oh, there's a different perspective here. So the main key here is breaking like taking a break in order to shift your mindset, to have a different perspective, to see something that you can't quite see, to help you resolve whatever that obstacle is or whatever is ongoing in your life that you can't quite see a resolution to at the moment. So I hope that makes sense. So the way that you can schedule yourself in, so that can take many, many different like forms. It's going to be different for everybody, right? Like for some people, it could be like doing some physical like exercise, like jogging or whatever, is a way that you relax. And for somebody else, it could be like binging on Netflix, right? So it really depends, or baking something or whatever, right? So the way that you schedule yourself in is going to be individual to you. There are many different ways. Run a bath. If you have only like 2, 3 minutes for yourself, if you have kids or anything like that, you know what I'm talking about. Small kids. Then, you know, maybe just making like a hot cocoa or something like that, and sitting down, closing your eyes for 2 minutes. Maybe that might be like the only thing that you can do at the moment, but however small that is, like just try to do it. Just try to do it for you. And yeah, and I think like the obstacle has to do with, I think, one of your fears. And that's often hard to see. Like if it's something that's a bit like in the shadow, in the blind spot, as often fears can be, right? Because sometimes they're hard to see. You know, we don't always acknowledge that we have certain fears, or that certain situations we might react in a way, and we don't realize that it's just driven by fear. So there might be something like that going on, where you're reacting, but you don't realize that you're reacting out of fear and not out of love or another more positive emotion for you. So I just want to make that clear, that that might be what's going on at the moment. So we're going to take another deck of cards in order to get more information. Just give me a second. So I can just open that. So I realized I didn't clear this deck of any previous energy. I like to clear the deck so they're just like clean and ready to read. So I'm just gonna do that. So basically you can see how I do it. So I just give it a little knock and a little intention, and I thank the cards. Okay, so for pile number 1, we want to know what can help them with the current energies that they're working through right now. What can help them? What can help them? Okay, so I'm going to take the cards that came. Okay, I'm going to take that one too. Let's see. So we have 3 different cards. One speaks of grief, empathy, and judgment. So I understand that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it. Here it speaks about, I am open to seeing both sides of a situation. And here I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. Yeah, so I feel like it has to do with somebody else, what you're trying to work through right now, because obviously here it speaks of, again, a different perspective, like being open to seeing both sides of a situation. So yeah, so it's the same kind of message that I'm getting from this. And here it says, like, I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. So that the way that somebody treats you, for example, isn't definitely like not a reflection of you, but a reflection of them, right? It's their, and the way they choose to do things is their own prerogative, and it has nothing to do with your value as a person or anything like that. But I'm getting a message that it's not like about grief per se here, but it's again like the kind of like the double meaning again. Loss is opportunity, right? It's something like that's a blind spot. Like when we lose something, we don't see that it might be an opportunity to gain something, that it makes space for something else to come in, right? So I feel like that message is still very much there. The color orange is really popping for me, like, because it's here, it's here, it's here, even though that's more like a yellowy amber kind of color, but it's still like orangey. I would say maybe your sacral chakra. So I think, yeah, I do think you're somebody that's creative. I do think that usually you use your head a lot, like you're somebody that will, that can find solutions pretty easily. And I think that the challenge right now is like, don't jump immediately into your default, into your default, like even if they're skills of yours, like finding solutions or being able to be very solution oriented, like take a breather, in order to see more clearly. This is what I really get for you. Let's see, we're gonna take more cards for you. We're going to continue that reading. Let's see what else can help. Let's get more clarification here on your message. I'm going to put this here. More clarification for group number 1. I'm just going to switch them. Just because color-wise I feel like it fits better. All right. It's kind of funny because I'm getting like a really like peaceful vibe. Like when that card was here, I just wasn't feeling it. And I think it's because, yeah, it's kind of like that orange salmon-y color again. But it feels peaceful. And it says the good kind. Like the energy here feels peaceful, even though it's all about like overcoming fears and, that loss might be an opportunity, or the opportunity to gain instead of just, a blank slate is like a fresh start as well. So I feel like, and then it says the good kind. So I feel like it's really kind of like reiterating the fact that, you want to be calm in order to have clarity right now. You want to take care of yourself. The good kind of care, not like drinking a bottle of wine and like that's not the good kind, even though you feel like it, like, oh, maybe a glass of wine would be nice. Maybe just one, but like, just try to pace yourself. I don't know why I'm talking about wine right now, but this just popped in my mind. It's just an example. Yeah. So I think that's a message that wanted to come out, like in moderation too, and like to get that vibe of peacefulness. And obviously here you are living poetry, so don't doubt yourself. You are absolutely able to get through whatever this is you're working on. I feel like you're somebody that's very enlightened. So even though this seems like it's not easy, whatever you're going through, I don't think it's easy. And I don't want to pass judgment, like nobody, like whatever anybody's going through is not easy for them, for anyone, like I'm just saying, like, for what I'm getting, like as a feeling, is that whatever you're going through, like, I just want to say that you're doing a great job, and like having different perspective on something is not easy. It's not easy to say, well, I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna try to think differently or to see something differently than I have in the past. And I feel like the fact that this is kind of like what you can work on currently speaks very highly of you. Like it means that you're enlightened, you're spiritually, you're not a novice. Spiritually speaking, like probably really level you up, because yeah, it's really not easy to stop and to see from a different perspective, especially something where like that's ingrained, and especially for someone that's also used to relying on themselves a lot. And I know that people that are creative, that are very solution oriented, sometimes it's hard to ask for help because like we can be so good at it, right? All I'm trying to say is that you're doing a great job, and just as much as you can, try to get that feeling of peacefulness going. It's going to help you a lot in terms of approaching this work in a way that's not going to feel burdensome at all. You know, I feel like you can do this, and you can do this. I'm not going to say with ease, but like with like that a sense of peacefulness. So I'm not getting like overwhelmed from this, even though it's a lot. Like it's not easy, like I said. So good job. You are living poetry, literally. So this is great. Um, Also, another message I'm getting is like journaling or writing might help you. So anything to do with like gratitude, journaling, or something like that might help you gain clarity. Or also writing down pros and cons, lists, whatever like is in your mind that you need to put on paper in order to see more clearly. It might help you. Yep. So that's a message I'm trying to get. I'm sorry if you can hear my kid in the background. She's playing with her dad right now. She's a cutie. All right. Okay, so group number one, maybe like a confirmation message. Okay, we have shine. You are made of stardust, so keep sparkling. Wow, so we have you are living poetry and you are made of stardust, so keep sparkling. That's very positive. So here we have the solar plexus chakra. So everything to do with like your confidence. Right next to tiger's eye right here. Yeah, so your sense of who you are, stand in your power, stand in your light, believe in yourself. You can do this. You can absolutely do this. Whatever you're going through right now, you can absolutely overcome, like 100%. So this is a really good confirmation. I don't think you can get a better confirmation. I'm gonna try one more card of confirmation here. Another confirmation message if possible here. Another confirmation message. Okay, so where am I going to put this one? I'm going to put it here. Okay, so it says gnomes. And we see like a little garden. It looks like a hobbit house. And there's a bunch of daisies. It's nice, like, can you say homely? I guess homely feeling that I get. Again, like that same peaceful vibe a little bit with the chimney running here. It says humanity, friendship, hard work, little visions. So again, something about the eyes, about visions, about perspective. Humanity and friendship, like this judgment card here on empathy is also speaking about humanity and friendships. And I don't think necessarily like friendship, like it can just be humanity, right? Like it doesn't necessarily have to do with a friend. It could be with a spouse, or if it's about a, like something with another person, which I think it might be. There's the brick behind. So building something brick by brick, because it's speaking about hard work too. But I think it's speaking about like the kind of like home you're building for yourself, but internal home also. Yeah. So I think you're like kind of like rebuilding yourself internally. There are fears that you're working through, things that you're seeing differently, a new way of being, so that you know you will change. You will change how you structure yourself, how you structure maybe your friendships, but that's based on like who you are, who you are becoming. So you know, you're not going to attract the same kinds of friendships, for example, if you change certain things about yourself, or if you evolve in a certain direction, right? So that's going to help you improve certain things, improve the way you show up in the world and what you attract. So yeah, I think you're working on all these things, and I think you're rebuilding your internal structure. You will maybe even create like different routines. I'm kind of getting that house 6 vibe. Sorry, I don't want to go on a tangent too much, but like, which is like in astrology, basically, it's all about, you know, the daily routines and everything. It's tied to the sign Virgo, the little details of life and stuff. And I think that, yeah, you're kind of rebuilding how maybe how you spend your time, let's say your energy, how to balance yourself, like how to rest, in order to see things more clearly, how to use your creativity, but not at the impediment of rest or of seeing clearly, you know. Like, I think, yeah, you're just rebuilding yourself in that way. So this is what I have for you, pile number 1. I hope this is helpful. I hope you take the time to chill and remember that you are absolutely made of stardust. So keep sparkling. You can absolutely do this. You rock. Don't forget to try to clear your mind and try to do things differently too. You know, if we continuously do approach things the same way, see things in the same way, not only does it get boring, but we kind of like just stay stagnant. So so approach it with that creativity of yours. Approach it with that, yeah, with that. I think this is also a message, like, to approach it with fun. I think the color orange and the sacral chakra is asking you that, like, take pleasure in it, you know. So this is what I have for you, pile 1. Take care. Bye bye. All right, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. Let's dive into it. And I'm sorry if you can hear my kid in the background. She's a cutie. She's with her dad right now. All right. So these are your cards. Some wanted to pop up. I was only going to pick 2, but a third one wanted to come out. So that's great. So here it says, take pleasure in the things you do. Open the door and start fresh. And I remember I had like a big message come through when I first saw this card pop up, which was the first card. Okay, let me try to remember. And here it was, open the door. For me, it was open the door to starting something fresh. So I think the distinct impression I had from this card is that there was something currently that you're doing, but you're not necessarily enjoying. And that in having that sort of approach to it, or from having that approach, like, that you were kind of like closing the door to a new start. But your new start is here. There's a door that you can open that will add that freshness currently that you're maybe that you want to experience right now. Yeah, so it's asking you to, like, bring pleasure back to the things that you do. It can be very, like, small things, like, you know, if you're, let's take something very, like, mundane, like vacuuming. Like, put on some music and dance while you're vacuuming. Like, try to just bring some fun back into the things that you do. And I think that will open the door to, like, having that freshness in your life, like less stagnancy, less of that energy, of a down energy, if you want. So I think it'll just bring the light back, is what I'm getting for you. Is like, maybe that's the current obstacle, is that you feel like maybe you're not having as much fun as you'd like, or things are a bit like meh, not that amazing right now. So yeah, in order to bring a sense of freshness back, like, just try to bring back the fun, basically. And can be in very, like, small ways, like I just mentioned, or it can be something bigger, like, I don't know, buying tickets to see, like, I don't know, either a concert, like, or, you know, it can be anything. So it's going to differ from person to person, right? But just try to bring some fun in this week, if you can. Like, think about it or sleep on it, whatever's your preferred method. So this is the message I get from these cards. Let's try to get some additional clarification, some help. I'm gonna take which deck? Okay, this one. All right. So for pile number 2, what can help and what they're trying to work on right now. Okay, we have 3 cards. All right, we're gonna take them. Okay, we have the card of balance, card of worry, and pride. So let's read what they are speaking of. Yeah, I also see, I wanted to mention that I see like the word healer here. I know it's just the name of the stone, but golden healer quartz, but it's popping up, popping out. Um, so there might be something that, you know, that you've healed from, or you're currently healing from, like maybe the end of a relationship or something along those lines, let's say. It's just an example. It doesn't have to be that. And that maybe like it kind of sapped your energy, or like kind of lulls you into like a meh state, you know. It sucks when um, we have to heal, basically. But yeah, I feel like that you need to bring the energy back to you. And I feel like the door is there to open. The door is there for freshness, definitely. So yeah, and here it says, I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do so without judgment. So there's definitely something about like your current energy. And here it says, I am learning that worry doesn't change an outcome. Yeah. I love myself and I see myself in everyone. So maybe currently you're in a like a worry mindset, which is preventing you from accessing like your fun side, right? Because when we're kind of stuck in anxiety, it's not easy to A, get out of it, and B, kind of start from a different standpoint, or see the world from a different standpoint. So, but it's asking you to do that. It's asking you to actually, that you have to kind of like actively bring back that fun in the things that you do, that will help you kind of release that anxiety. And it's also pointless to worry. Like obviously, like we all worry, we all can have anxiety spells and stuff like that. And but it never really changes the outcome, you know. But we still all do it, and it's like at a certain point in time, we have to kind of like take control back of our well-being and of our minds, and decide like where do we want to put our energy. Like this reminds me of a spiral staircase here. And it's like, do we really want to go down that spiral staircase into like that dark abyss? Or let's come out into the light. Let's stop worrying when we know that like it's not going to change anything. Like the worry is just going to exacerbate the anxiety, and it's just going to spiral out of control, right? And it's just going to continue on like this cycle. Anxiety just feeds like a loop onto itself. So what we want is to break free from that. And the way to do that is acknowledging that like worry by itself doesn't do much, right? Yes, it's okay to acknowledge our feelings and just say, okay, I see you anxiety. I understand why it's there. You know, either it's something outside of my comfort zone, or, you know, like it could be for a multitude of reasons that we get anxious, right? And it doesn't matter why. What matters is that it's there, that we acknowledge it, and that we decide that since we can't change the outcome by just worrying about it, that maybe putting pleasure back into our lives, like doing it, I can't find the word, but like intently, with intention, like with the intention of bringing the fun back, then our minds kind of like refocus into that direction. Instead of focusing on like, hey, I'm just going to focus on the worry, let me focus on the fun. Okay, I understand that I'm worried. I understand that something's not maybe going the way I want it to, but instead of continuously putting that my energy there, I'm just going to redirect it to pleasure. And that's going to work itself out. The worry or whatever situation causes that worry is just going to work itself out. I just sometimes we just got to have also faith um in like the universe and how things work, and other people and ourselves, and let go a little bit, you know, let that anxiety go a little bit. Like you don't need to be so like tied to it, right? And that, and once we kind of let go of like that kind of grasp onto anxiety, like once we let ourselves breathe a little bit, then it's like, oh, we can finally, we've opened the door to like something else, to fun, to other more positive energies, to come into our lives, right? for that fresh starts that wants to come. So I feel like that really is the message for you. And it says that, you know, love yourself first and foremost, you know, and that you're connected to divinity, you're connected to others, and that you'll find support. Okay, I know it speaks about pride here, but I really feel like that the message is like more about like your sense of self, your sense of self-worth. The color yellow is tied to your solar plexus chakra. So again, like yeah, your sense of self-worth. So to that when you bring joy back, and you know, the sunstone, the sun the sun is also like really connected to the solar, obviously the solar plexus chakra. So it's really telling you like to love yourself. That, and one of the ways to do that is to remove yourself from worry and put your energy back into yourself by feeding yourself positivity, by feeding yourself joy, by feeding yourself light. And even if you start from like nothing, where let's say it's been a while since you've had that sense of fun, you know, just start to experiment, just start to invest in yourself, basically. And you are absolutely worth it. And here it says, I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do so without judgment. So lessen the voice of judgment. Lessen, like, sometimes we're like, oh, I shouldn't spend time doing this, or I don't have time to take like a 20-minute shower. It needs to be a 10-minute shower, or whatever. It's just an example, but like give yourself like permission to have fun and to take care of yourself or whatever, and try to do so without having like any judgment, you know, like lessen the self-talk that's negative or that tries to like self-sabotage. So yeah, so it's just telling you like just redirect ever so slightly from worry to fun. It doesn't have to be the most gigantic shift, just ever so slightly. When you catch yourself in that worry and that anxiety, just ask yourself right away, like, what can I do differently? What can I do to bring me a sense of just fun right now, or just a slightly better energy than the energy of worry that I have? And that'll help you a lot. Okay, now let's move on to, let me get some clarifiers. Which one? I'm going to pick these. All right, so for pile number 2. Okay. Oh, God. I'm sorry about that. Let's go just grab another card. Okay, we'll grab this one and that one. All right. Okay, so here it says, you, the muse. So maybe you're somebody that likes to, paint, that's creative. I'm getting a vibe from that, like as the muse. Yeah, so anything creative. Maybe you're an artist. So maybe like putting, like that could be one of the activities that you want to get back to. Or maybe like if you're doing art at the moment and it's not really inspiring you, but try to like bring the fun back into it. Also, I'm getting the message like see yourself as somebody that's fun. That's the message that really wants to come out. Like bring yourself back. Like if you've been down lately, like be your own muse, right? Like you're amazing. See yourself as amazing. See yourself as fun. Shift your perspective of how you view yourself. We have the card of changes here. Like maybe you're opening the door to that fresh start is a change, obviously, and also changing directions. So changing, like we've talked about, like from worry to pleasure. And maybe it speaks also of changing things up in the sense that like if you're doing things right now that really you derive no pleasure in doing, then maybe it's time to start looking at other things, at things that could bring you more pleasure. It could be like career-wise, it could be anything that you're currently doing that is really not bringing you that sense of satisfaction anymore. So accepting that things have sometimes, endings, but an ending is a new beginning as well. And here it speaks about, what does your soul say? So to tap into your inner knowing. And it's hard to hear the voice of the soul when we're stuck in worry. Again, it's about balance. Like, as soon as you bring in more harmony, as soon as you see yourself as that fun, capable being, then, you'll be able to hear the voice of your soul. You'll be able to direct yourself and redirect yourself where you want to go. And this is really what it's saying here. Stop, drop, and ground is another way to find balance. Is like, okay, if I'm stop worrying, drop, then acknowledge it, drop it, and then just ground in something that does bring you that sense of calmness, of joy. Joy is like a powerful way to ground, right? Because it brings that positive emotion, that positive state, that positivity to our minds and our bodies. And from that standpoint, we can function much better. We can see more clearly because we're not riddled with, noise and distortion from negative emotions, basically. Or negativity, because negative emotions are going to happen, but it's like, how much of it do we allow, how long, and how fast can we redirect is the job that, as spiritually evolved beings, like, that's what we want to be doing. We want to be able to redirect, and we want to be able to do it, in a way that's respectful of ourselves, of you. All right, so I think I've covered those cards and the messages. I'm gonna ask for a confirmation message for you from Spirit. Here, a confirmation message for pile number 2. We have 2. We have Malachite, and we have, I'm gonna put it here, Carnelian. All right. So you'll find freedom in forgiveness. And letting go is not giving up. Sometimes it is the first step towards success. Yeah, so there might be something that you need to let go of, a change that you need to make, okay? But letting go is not giving up. Sometimes it's the first step towards your success. It's the same thing for your worry. If you're, sometimes, worry itself is something that, we think, not that we pride ourselves on, but we might be so attached to it that we don't see that, we see it as being tenacious somehow, I'm getting that message, where maybe you're attached to something and you're like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like, we're not seeing that. In fact, kind of letting go just a little bit, kind of redirecting our minds to something else just for a moment is not giving up on it entirely. It's actually giving us the fuel that we need in order to, work with it much better than we are at the moment. So I hope that made sense. I don't know if I made that clear, but it's a really important message that's coming through, that, sometimes we hang on to an idea or to something so dearly, because we're so tenacious, and that's perseverance is a beautiful trait. Tenaciousness is a beautiful trait, right? But sometimes we need to look at ourselves and be okay, maybe that tenaciousness right now in this instance is not serving me. Maybe at this time, and it's not that if I let it go just a little bit, I'm giving up on this. I'm not giving up on anything, but I'm just kind of letting it be, letting something be, and then seeing what happens. Sometimes it's hard to do that, and so it's asking you to try to do that. And sometimes that is exactly what is needed for success, for that fresh start, for that open door of healing or of freshness. And then here it says, you'll find freedom and forgiveness. Malachi. So maybe also forgiving yourself. It doesn't necessarily have to be about somebody else here. Forgiving yourself for going through these things, for worrying, you know, like, it's like, don't beat yourself up. And yeah, love yourself instead. That's also like that message here again. And also, even if it's about forgiving others too, when you forgive others, you're really also doing it for yourself, because it frees up space. It frees up energetic space for yourself, right? Because you're not like in that state of like, you know, being angry, basically. So you kind of like, instead of, again, being in like emotions that aren't really conducive to your overall well-being, you know, you're learning to help yourself, basically, to be your own muse, I think, is the big message here. And we'll take the last deck and the last confirmation message for group number 2. Last confirmation for group number 2. Oh. Okay. I think the bottom of my cards are not fully in the video. I'm sorry about that. I didn't realize that it was cut off. Okay, pile number 2, sorry, confirmation message, last confirmation message. Oh, it speaks about freedom again. That's funny. Okay. Wow. I like the vibe from that card a lot. I feel like a lot of happiness from that card. It says respect, liberation, freedom, survival. But I'm getting that you don't have to be in a state of survival anymore, because there's a fight or flight response. I'm getting that like worry often gets us in that state where we're like constantly like reacting to our anxiety, like it's a feedback loop, right? And like it's like being in survival mode, basically, instead of like thriving mode. And I think it speaks of like, yeah, respecting your boundaries, respecting your sacredness, respecting your well-being, your joy, liberating yourself from what keeps you down, learning to ground yourself, learning to find balance, learning to let go when something's not good for you, not give up, let go. And yeah, and reclaiming your freedom. But I sense a lot of happiness, so I'm getting like, it's really a big confirmation that you can do this. Honestly, the whole energy kind of lifted when I saw this card. So I'm really feeling a big incoming happiness for you, especially. It really reminds me of that. Open the door to the fresh start that's waiting for you. This is it. It's right here. It's coming to you. It definitely is. So, and one way of like speeding things up right now for you is really like bring the pleasure back, like ever so slightly, whatever you can do. Like start to think about that. Or like I said, think about how to bring pleasure back, or sleep on it, or just do it. All right. And worry less if you can. All right. Okay. Sending you my love. Take care. Pile 2. Bye. All right. Hello, pile number 3. This is going to be your reading. Let's flip those cards for you. It's time to transform is what we have. And then Carnelian, feed your creativity. You're going through a transformation right now, and your creativity can really help you. This is immediately what I get from these cards together. And I think like whatever you are currently facing, whatever issue you have or problems you're having or questions that you're working through, basically it's telling you here that, sorry, by the way, my baby is in the background making noises. She's with her dad, so I apologize for the noise. But yeah, she's really cute. Anyways, back to your reading. Yeah, so whatever you're going through at the moment, it's asking you to really utilize, not only utilize your creativity, but to actually feed it. So that means maybe it's an aspect of your life right now that you're not getting to use as much as you'd like. This is really the vibe I'm getting from this. Like, it's very straightforward. It's very straightforward in the sense that it's like transformation. It's a time of transformation for you, and your creativity can really help you. So that can mean very like varied things. For example, it could be, you know, utilizing your writing skills to write a different story, to write, like you can write a mini blurb of what you envision, or you can draw if you want to draw like a picture or of like your future. Like for example, if you want to get married, so you can, you know, draw you and your significant other, or do that through like a mood board or some sort of like visualization board that you can create for yourself. So there's different ways of doing these things. So it might be that it's asking you to kind of like use your creativity and finding different solutions for your current transformation. We're gonna ask for further clarifications, for further like, what is this all about, right? I'm gonna pull, let me see. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna pull from this deck right now to see what can help in this transformation. What exactly are you facing right now? So let's see. All right. Oh, there's two cards. These cards keep coming like in pairs or in triple cards. Ooh, wow, look at that. This is crazy. Abundance and success. Wow, you have really nice cards. Okay, I'm getting excited for you. So it says here, I am a limitless being and I can manifest whatever I desire in this physical reality. So maybe it's time to transform like your mindset about, you know, what you can have or what you can manifest, or what you're like worthy of in a way, right? So it's time to see yourself as abundant. It's time to transform your thinking, your mindset, and feed instead. Use your creativity to do that and feed your creativity. So I'm getting like a double message where it's like feeding your creativity and using it is a bit different. Feeding your creativity is if like it's starving a little bit and you're underusing it. And then, well, I mean, I guess it's the same as using it. So, but I guess it goes for like people who are like intrinsically, I mean, everybody's creative, but there are some people that are a lot more in touch maybe with their creativity. And then, so for them, it's like extra important to feed it. And then for other people that aren't necessarily like I said, you're creative for sure, like everybody's creative. But if you're not like one to either perceive yourself as creative, maybe that's also a message for somebody that, like, if you don't perceive yourself as creative, like everybody has creativity and you should start to try to utilize it. You should, like, not should, but like you can. And right here it's telling you like that you have the ability to do it. And one way of doing that is just through simple questions that you can ask yourself. Like, for example, if you're facing a situation, it's just literally asking yourself, how can I view this situation differently? Like if I'm wearing, like, imagine yourself wearing a pair of blue sunglasses and looking at your situation, or just like your main view of the situation is without any glasses. Wear a pair of blue sunglasses. What do you see? And then wear a pink, a pink shade of sunglasses, and then what do you see, right? and ask yourself, try to see things a bit in a different way. And that's like one way of using your creativity, but it can really be like through anything. Like I said, like it can be like journaling, like writing, little prompts that you can, again, questions, and you can write, and then you can use your like mood boarding skills and stuff like that to put together like what you envision. You can get inspired like by, it's kind of like having your spiritual Pinterest board, right? You can look into like what you want to envision for your future and stuff like that. It's not necessarily spiritual. I don't know why I said that, but yeah, it could be anything. It could be like make music again if you're the type to, or sing, dance, learn a new dance. It could be anything really. Bake. Okay, I'm gonna stop now. So, so you get my drift here, but basically, see yourself as abundant. And I think the more you use your creativity, the more that abundance, you know, will manifest. And then success, I know that there is no greater goal than to love. But here for you, I think also the main message is potentially to love yourself through this. Whatever you're transforming, it might be like your relationship to yourself, right? To see yourself as this creative being that can manifest whatever you desire. And that this happens through that love that you have for yourself, through seeing yourself as worthy of this abundance. And I think it's an affirmation, not an affirmation, but like it's affirming that you will succeed in this as you progress in this journey of transformation that you're currently going through. So let me get more info for you. I'm going to get another card deck here. I take this one. So we're going to ask for further clarification from Spirit. Okay, one wanted to come out immediately. We're going to take it. And wow, it's crazy that this card came out. It says bliss is worth creating from. So like you've got the wording scratched out, but basically bliss is worth creating from. So again, we have the creating, the creativity, and that basically joy is worth creating from, so that you want to feel yourself. And bliss is abundance as well. Like they're linked together. I'm gonna shuffle to get more clarification here for you. And it says rise. Yes. So I'm gonna just flip because this really speaks to me here. It's again about transformation, about rising. It reminds me of like the phoenix rising from the ashes, this little design here. And yeah, I feel like if you haven't been like, I feel like what it's, the vibe that it's giving me is basically as if it's somebody that like has been a bit dormant, like you're maybe like, I don't know what's happened in your life, and that, but you have so much like to give, and like there's so much potential that's like unleashing, waiting to unleash, or unleashing at the moment. And yeah, there's abundance of like, creativity just waiting to overflow, an abundance of success and bliss. Yeah, it's your time to rise right now. It's your time to really tap into that creative power that you have, because it's worth connecting to it and creating from it. Let me get one more card from this deck. One more card here to give us a bit more info on to what is this transformation. Oop. Okay, I'm just gonna pick one more. What is this transformation about? Okay. All right. So we have the card of accept and receive about your transformation. So this is making me think of abundance again, because it's like when we're closed off to our abundance, or when we're in a state of lack, we're not in a state of like a reception, of accepting something, of reception, of receiving. And like we need to open the doors of abundance to receive. We need to accept, actually. Let me reframe that message, okay? Because it's coming in strong. So accepting where you are currently in your transformations journey. Okay? Accept where you are, and that will also open the door to this abundance. Okay? And I'm getting a double message here with this accept. And here it says limitations inspire innovations. I really love this card because it speaks of viewing whatever you think is like a limitation or something like that you're not very happy about, or like that you're going through, actually is a doorway to your creativity, to your innovations, to your ability to recreate yourself. It's like you can use it as fuel for your transformation. You can use it as fuel to like really shape and mold this next stage of your life, this future or this vision that you have. And if you don't have a vision, just the very next step at the very least. So going through these transformation and through these challenges, we learn to innovate. We learn to make, gold out of, pain, out of sometimes things that are unpleasant. And that's like something, that is not easy to do, obviously, but I mean, it's still a beautiful thing to be able to say, I've come out transformed, I've risen from the ashes, and I didn't like it didn't what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, but more than that, it's actually um, gets you on your destiny road. If you want, it gets you into your abundance, it gets you into your success. So to see those limitations as not like, oh, it's a lack. No, it's the road. It's my road here. It's my road to abundance. It's my road to success. So kind of reshaping how you view those potential obstacles. They're actually like, they can actually be your road to success. So accept where you are, accept where things are right now, and receive the inspiration for your innovations. If you're in that receptive state, if you view, like I said, those challenges as like a roadmap for what's like how you can shape and mold your future and be inspired by like your ability to create, to be creative and innovate, then you will succeed. You will be in your abundance. You will be in a state of abundance. You will be at least in a more positive mindset, a more positive standpoint. And then that means that you can receive much more easily. You can receive from your intuition, like what your next best step would be, and you can be more open to receive from the divine guidance. So there's a lot here, and it's really beautiful what you're going through, working through. I mean, and by that I mean what you are becoming through this transformation is really beautiful. So let's see. I will put this card deck here. Just give me a second. Okay. So we're going to ask for a confirmation message here. Just let's shuffle confirmation for group 3 on the messages here. Oh, okay. I thought it was like a card of creativity again, but oh my God, it is. I thought it said creativity, but it speaks of creation right here. Fertility. Let your life burst forth from the seeds of creation. So, and the sacral chakra. So again, like this is pretty insane. Wow. Wow. Okay. So again, like that, there's a clear message here. Like it's really straightforward for you, pile 3. Dive into like what you envision for your next step, for your future, what you really want. Like start to journal about that. If you're not 100% clear, like a lot of us aren't 100% clear, and that's fine. Like all we need is the very next step. And it's better to take things one step at a time than to have like, a giant mountain in front of you. So take it step by step. Start to envision like what it is that you desire. Know that you can really create that. Like there's no limits here, and let that creativity come out. Let yourself dream. Let yourself create. So rise, and don't view any obstacles along the way as obstacles. They're actually perfect teaching moments. They're perfect lessons in like really tapping into your creativity even more, and like they are your road to success. Even though they seem like an obstacle, they're not. They're like teaching you a skill. Like you can flip, like you'll be able to flip situations that are difficult like that, like, or that are perceived generally as difficult, but they're not really. Like if you change your mindset around certain things, you know, they're not limitations anymore. They're like innovations, right? Or they're inspirations if you want for innovations. Let's take another card for you. Another confirmation card, or another card that can like help you here. All right. Self-love. So I think we spoke about self-love in the beginning. You can only love others as much as you love yourself. So yeah, to kind of put in the time to love yourself, and just know that you need to replenish your energy to be able to give to others, and that it's a good use of your time to do so. You know, to really like take care of your energy basically, and make sure that you take care of your well-being, and that you love yourself, you know, through all of this, that you accept whatever stage of life you're in. We'll get one last confirmation card for group number 3. Confirmation message. If we can get one for pile number 3. I wish I could ask you guys, like, what do you want to know? What is the question that you have currently in your mind? Maybe like, so a question instead that I could ask the cards is like, what can help you in that transformation? What can help you in your success here? In your new mindset of abundance, of creativity? What can help you here? Okay, you know what, guys? I'm not going to use that deck. Okay, I'm going to pick that one. Okay. So pile number 3, confirmation message of also what can help them in their road to success. Okay, you have shelter, you are cherished. So it speaks about love again, that you are cherished. So far, we have that. So what can help pile number 3 on their road to success? Self-discovery. Okay, let's get one more card. Sorry. All right, we have a card. Okay. So it's just the perfect card that wants to come out. I'm sorry if that takes time, but I prefer to like take my time and do that so that we get the right cards for you. Yeah, so I went a bit off script here, but I was like not feeling the other deck for you guys for some reason. And okay, so here are these additional messages. You are cherished. Be still and listen. Dive deep. Okay, so transformation basically is hard work. Yes. Well, in the sense that it requires like quiet time. It requires like, you can't just be go, 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 super energy, like, you know, all the time. Like you have to, like it, in order to change yourself, like, for example, like a butterfly needs to go into its cocoon as a caterpillar before becoming a butterfly, for example. It can't just like in one day like turn into a butterfly, right? It has to go through a process. And and you need to accept that like it's a process. You can't just all of a sudden, you know, completely change. Like you need a bit of time. You need to give yourself a bit of time and love yourself through it, and definitely give yourself some time. But it's not wasted time. It's time that where your creativity can really spark. It's time like where you're honing your skills and you're becoming better and better and better, you know? So don't don't be down on yourself. Like, you are learning massive skills from whatever like you're going through, like transforming by, you know, using your creativity and getting into like your pure state of abundance and success. Like, this is insane. Like, the work that you're doing is like, you're massively shifting, like you're leveling up your mindset and your like spiritual uh self like so much right now. Like, it's insane. So, and even though you can't see it right now, like, don't be down on yourself. Like, you are on that road. Know that you are on that road. And right now it's an occasion. Yeah, it's an occasion. I don't know why I'm saying it weird like that, but to dive deep, to self-discover, you know, to really dive deep into it. Like, let the process be the process, right? You don't need to control it. All you need to do is like be in your creativity, be in your self-love, be in your rest, in your own embrace. Like, and you are, I get that you're also supported. Like, there is support around you. And your creativity is coming. Like, the hair here symbolizes fertility as well. It symbolizes fertility, which is like also creativity, creation, all of that. So it's like kind of like in the background right now, but it is there, you know, and it's like coming out of the night. So it's really beautiful. And it's definitely like that burst of energy is coming in for you. Definitely. But they look so content. Honestly, that card, like, even the bird has kind of like a smile. I don't know how, but it does. So like, that card is giving me a sense of like calmness and like journey with calm. Like, don't get rattled by challenges, by obstacles and stuff like that. Like, know that it's just gonna take the time that it takes. Don't be down on yourself. Like, you know, just accept wherever like you are on certain days. For example, too, like, some days we are doing great, some days we're not that great. Like, moods fluctuate, everything fluctuates, the whole like seasons and everything fluctuates, right? So everything is in flux all the time, so that's normal. It's just sometimes it's not pleasant to go through these things, but again, limitations inspire innovations. So find ways to feel better, find ways to uplift yourself. You can do this, you can do this. I get like such massive like good vibes from this pile, from this success cards, from like your cards in general. Like, you can really do this. Like, I can really see you shifting into your incredible abundance. And don't forget to rest if I haven't said so. And rest doesn't necessarily mean sleep. It can be just like, again, a state of peacefulness, activities that bring you that sense of peace as well. And this is one of my favorite cards. It's so beautiful, isn't it? I don't know, it just gets me. I really like it. I really like the art. Yeah. And it speaks of self-discovery. So again, that was the card of diving deep. So don't be afraid to dive into this transformation, to go into that journey, to go on that journey, and just accept that it's a process, and that it can be a beautiful process. It can be a fun process. It can be a very creative process. Not obviously 100% of the time, but you can help yourself through it. Definitely, you can love yourself through it and help yourself through it. Okay? And I know you want to give to others, but also like give to yourself as well, and know that, you know, you're abundant. So this is really the message I have for you, pile 3. Yeah, this was your reading. Take care. Bye bye. All right, pile number 4. Yes, pile number 4. All right, pile number 4. Hello. Welcome to your reading. So let me flip those cards. Oh yeah, I think we had a lot of cards for you guys. Everybody had like 2 cards. So let's see what we have. We have find peace within. Be kind to yourself. Bring in the light and ignite your passion. So I remember at first when I saw this cards, I was like, it's all over the place. I see a lot of like different energies, but then it made sense. So let me try to find the story again here that I felt. Okay, so right now it's telling you to be peaceful, to find the calm within. Like if you're overwhelmed or anxious or anything along those lines, it's asking for you to step into your stillness, to step into that peaceful feeling within, and to be kind to yourself. So that might mean that like maybe your self-talk is not like great at the moment. It's not up to par with what, you know, you would, for example, talk with a friend. Like you wouldn't use the same kinds of words, the same kinds of speech, the same kinds of patterns. So it's asking you to view yourself, like when you talk to yourself, try to see if, like, if it's something you wouldn't tell a friend, don't tell it to yourself. Be kind to you. That's one way to have more peace within right now for you. And to, yeah, bring in the light. So I'm getting two messages where it's like, don't be so serious right now about certain things. Like, inject more lightness into your situation. But also, like, connect to your inner light. Connect to that peace, to those good vibes within, like, to the positivity within you, rather than, like, the voice of, like, negativity or doubts or fear. I'm getting that strong message. And here we have ignite your passion. So this is actually the same stone, garnet. And so this was like, when it came out, I was like, yeah, I don't see how that connects with this, because it's such a different like energy. Like, you know, here it's all calm, and then all of a sudden there's like passion. I feel like it's saying find your center. One way for you to find peace, to find that inner peace, is to be kind to yourself. So watch your language, your self-talk, and then reignite like whatever is light, whatever is fun for you, whatever is inspiring, is whatever you're passionate about, or wherever you feel that spark of passion. So that's another way for you to connect with that peace within you, that inner peace. So let's ask what else can help in this finding inner peace for you right now. So, okay, already. All right, we're going to take another card, I think. All right, yes. I was asking the deck, and the deck wanted to give another card. So it says, I release any beliefs that no longer assist in my soul's growth. Yes, 100%. This is the be kind to yourself, right? You don't need beliefs that don't build you up. If you have a belief that like pulls you down, or, you know, removes bricks from your inner peace tower, whatever, you do not want to continue believing in that belief, right? You want to release it, say, no, 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 thank you. I'm going to be kind to myself. I would not tell that to a friend. I would not, you know, encourage them to have these sorts of limiting beliefs or about themselves. So I will not like tolerate that for myself. So it's really asking you to release that, and instead bring in the light, reconnect with your passion, reconnect with your soul. You know, and if you don't know what you're passionate about, it's okay. You can experiment. It's okay not to know. It's okay to try things and not like them, and try other things until you find like things that you connect more with. Okay, don't be afraid to try new things. And here, this card came in for another group as well. It says, empathy, I am open to seeing both sides of a situation. So I'm getting also the message that whatever is light comes from the dark. So like sometimes it's not easy to see our own light if we haven't been in the dark, right? So accept where you are right now, and understand that it's leading you back to your light, to even more light. So that's also a message that I'm getting. Maybe it's not for everybody, but I'm getting that message for sure. I'm coming through from this card. I'm going to take another card from this deck. What else can help here? change. Ooh, I like this. I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement. So that's pretty powerful. And there's even a sun in the middle. Yeah, so I think there's definitely a change right now. There's definitely transformation going on where, you know, you're releasing certain beliefs. You know, you're changing. Who you're becoming is changing. And that, you know, you can't grow without some sort of change. But I'm also getting another message about potentially that this might involve somebody else as well, whatever situation you're facing right now. And it's asking you that to understand that sometimes dissatisfaction is necessary in order to find satisfaction. I think I had that same message earlier where I was talking about this here, the empathy card, where I had the light and dark message. It's kind of the same here, where it's like, if you're not like a bit like in the dark sometimes, you can't go back to the light, or you wouldn't know what light is, right? Dissatisfaction can definitely be necessary in order for things to change. So don't be afraid of whatever is ongoing right now. If there's like a bit of a strife with somebody, or like, and it's not going well with them, or, you know, there's dissatisfaction happening, know that it's actually necessary for your own evolution, or for the relationship to evolve into something that, you know, would be either better suited for you, or something that you want to leave altogether. So, or it could be also just a prompt for you to evolve yourself. Like, if you know, you can use anything as an excuse to spiritually develop yourself. You know, it's all good. It's all juice that you can transmute and use. Yeah. So that's what I'm getting from these cards for you. I'm going to take another deck here, and we're going to ask for more clarification, more info for group number 4 on what they are going through right now, on finding that peace within. Okay, we have this card here. I'm going to ask for more cards, more info. All right. I hope you can see the cards here that I have. Yeah, okay. Okay, so we have Creator Water, and here the overthinking can spoil the magic. So again, like, because I was getting vibes from this card that maybe your self-talk and your beliefs aren't like helping yourself right now in terms of like your inner peace. And so definitely like overthinking and like churning stuff over and over, it does not help. Try to release, you know, fear, or the voice of doubt, because yeah, it can definitely spoil the magic. And just know that things are happening for a good reason. That's also the message that I'm getting, is like from all these cards, is like, it's not happening to you, it's happening for you. All right, group number 4, this is like really the main message here. Creator Water. Water is all about like your intuition, the deep unconscious, and stuff like that. And creator energy, I think it has to do with like, again, like that passionate side of you, not to be afraid of it too. For some reason, I'm getting that message as well. Not to be afraid of your own depth, of diving in to change certain things, or to change how you view yourself, and releasing certain beliefs. Sometimes it's hard to let go of certain voices that we have, like of certain beliefs that we hold. So don't be afraid of viewing things differently. Don't be afraid of that change. Just try to remain open and tap into that, your intuition, tap into even your dreams, I would say, like, can help provide answers. And get confirmation cards for you. Pile number 4 on your current journey of mindset here that you're going through. Ooh, look at that. Destiny. Follow your instincts. They lead to the truth. Yeah, so trust yourself. It was kind of like this card here. just believe, just trust that, you know, you don't need to overthink. Follow your instincts. They lead to the truth. It's really, you know, self-explanatory in a way, but it can be very hard to do. Um, it's very easy to overthink, basically, right? It's very easy to fall back into fear and false beliefs. Um, Instead, listen to the voice of your, I want to say better judgment, but that's not really it. It's more like your intuition here. And I forgot to mention, I don't know if I said that, creator water, that's very like linked to intuition. So I think that's another message here, two messages of intuition here. So I think what you're learning currently is like to really trust your intuition as well. You're really honing in on your intuition. Through doing that work, through caring for your inner peace, you're really kind of awakening, I think, your intuition a lot. So that's really good. Let's get another confirmation card here. Okay, we have two. We have love and foundation. Yes, your inner peace tower. Foundation is what the castle of your soul is built upon. So I do believe that, you know, you're kind of like rewriting your beliefs. You're rewriting your story within. You're rebuilding. Sorry, your story. You know, it's gonna be built differently this time around. You're no longer gonna beat down on yourself. You know, instead, there's gonna be a lot more self-love, a lot more kindness, right? A lot more intuition, a lot more of that going on. So here again, love is a verb, so make it your most treasured action. I feel like it's both towards yourself and towards others as well. Like if it's about something happening with somebody else, just try to give them love, even though it's hard right now. Try to see from eyes of love is what I'm getting, actually. Try to see the situation with eyes of love instead of eyes of fear, if that makes sense. Okay, so try to do that. One way to be able to do that is just literally asking the question, like, am I coming from a place of love right now, or am I coming from a place of fear? Is there fear behind like my reactions or why I'm triggered right now? So that will kind of like tell you your standpoint. All right. Let's see. Last confirmation card here. Last confirmation message for pile 4. Okay. Ooh. Banyan trees. That's beautiful. All right. So it says blessings, banyan blessings, security, the hermit, expansion and stability. Okay, so I'm getting a lot of vibes. I'm getting also like those vibes that I got from the start of the reading here, where it was like many different energies and I didn't understand how they connected right away. So it's again the same here, where it speaks of like security and the hermit, and then expansion and stability. But it exactly plays in together very well. Sometimes in order to expand, we need to go into like hermit mode. We need to like go into like rebuilding our foundations of reflection. And then from that standpoint, then we can expand. Then we're stable enough to expand as well. So again, you're building, I'm really feeling that metaphor of like, you're building your inner peace tower. You're learning how to do that currently through whatever you're experiencing. And it's gonna help you like release basically old beliefs that don't help you. It's gonna help you with your self-talk. It's gonna help you bring in the light and bringing in the passion back into your soul, into yourself. It's gonna help you create that foundation, a very strong foundation. It's gonna help you understand, like, it's gonna help you accept dissatisfaction as a precursor to satisfaction in certain instances, right? It doesn't always have to be that way, but like that change, that movement is okay, that like it's okay sometimes that dissatisfaction is present because it only means that satisfaction is right around the corner. Okay, that you can use this as fuel and not as something like to put you down, basically. So I'm really seeing that, like, so it's really a confirmation from what we've been talking about here, that right now it's okay to go into that hermit mode of like deciding what you will accept as your beliefs, that what you will accept, tolerate, from yourself to yourself and from others, right? But it starts with you. It starts with you first. Overall, I think like there's a lot of positivity. There's a lot of things happening. Like it's not a small thing. You're learning a lot of different skills, like mindset skills. You're really leveling up like your intuition and your foundation. I mean, this is a big work. It's not small by any means, but it's beautiful, and there's definitely magic coming in. There's definitely blessings on the way. There's definitely expansion. Okay, there's cause for celebrations also. Like, I think you're going to be able to celebrate yourself, and even though it doesn't seem like, even though it doesn't seem possible right now, like, because for some reason I'm getting that maybe there's an argument with someone right now, but just know that things can be better and more stable in the future. Okay, so this is what I got for you, pile number 4. I hope you enjoyed your reading. Take care. Bye.